Merzcast.
So now what everyone's been dying to know, have you ever been to the White House?
I have been to the White House several hundred times.
Several hundred times?
Several hundred, yes.
For those of you just listening, he said he's been to the White House several hundred times.
Yes, it used to be part of my job. That's what the Marine Band does. That's their primary mission, is to serve the President of the United States in the White House. So we would go over there a lot, obviously, because that's where he lives, and we also would travel with him or to the same place as he was in on many occasions. But yeah, I don't know what the total number was, but it was certainly in the hundreds.
My oh my.
times.
Now, you you're retired from the Marine
I
Band,
am.
right? When did you retire?
2004.
2004. So I'm sure a lot of security procedures have changed since then, but what was it like getting into the White House back then?
Well, you have to have a clearance. So when you join the Marine Band, they do a little investigation on you and determine if you can get a White House clearance. If you can't be in the Marine Band.
Hmm.
And then when you go over there, of course, your bus comes to a gate and some dogs sniff, and they have all kinds of stuff they do there. And then you get off the bus and you go to another gate, and they go through a metal detector, and you often put your horn on the ground, and they bring dogs out.
Oh, wow.
Check them out, and then maybe they have you blow a note through your horn.
Just to make sure you actually play the instrument?
And then you can go wherever it is you need to go in the White House, which of course is still well guarded, even with all those things that they do. They still don't quite trust you.
For any federal agents listening, this is purely educational. There's no hidden motives here.
No, it's a hard place to get in.
Wow.
Got harder and harder, obviously, after something like 9/11. I'm told in years past, say before President Kennedy was killed, that it was much looser over there, easier to get in, for the band at least. I don't know about the public. So, yeah, it's locked up pretty tight, and you get there pretty early, a couple hours before the event.
How early are we talking?
Say again?
How early are we talking?
It could be very early. For instance, the day after the inauguration of a new president, the band goes over and plays a little wake-up serenade at about, I think we probably start playing around 8, which means we probably got to the White House about 6, which means we probably left Marine Barracks about 5 or something.
Nice.
Like that.
Wow. So do you get to meet the presidents while you're there, or are you kind of just doing your own little thing, tooting your horn in the corner while they're mingling? How's that
In
work?
general, you don't, but then, randomly you do. So, like, there were a few times where we're standing around waiting a couple hours before an event. For instance, President Clinton used to run this little track that they put in around the south wall of the White House. So sometimes he would be doing his jog because he wasn't even dressed for the day yet.
Wow.
And he, by the way, was a all-state tenor sax player.
Oh yeah, I heard that.
So he would come over and we would chat with him. He was very curious about the band, kind of appreciated what we did. And then there's some other times for some indoor events, it's a little bit hard to explain, where the band was going to make a grand entrance, but the president would enter just before us, where I would be in the same little small security tent for 10 minutes. So I chatted with both of the Bushes fairly extensively, because the Euphoniums would often lead those little indoor marching.
Euphoniums are such divas, aren't
for
they?
whatever reason. So we were up front, and so I remember chatting with George Bush, the father, a good long while. They're very people-oriented people that are elected president, obviously, are outgoing, extroverted.
Did you ever offer any policy advice or anything like that?
No, never did that. Just ask them how the family's doing, how they're getting along. Usually they're more curious about what we're doing. you know, they don't want to talk about their stuff all the time.
Right, right.